Okay, we're going this way. We're not live. It still goes.
Oh, does it? Okay.
We're going to get started in a moment, so if you can start taking your seats. Can't hear very well. You take your seats and silence your cell phones, please. We'll get started in a moment. All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the retirement ceremony in honor of Colonel Paul Harron. Today we pay tribute to Paul Harron and his military career spanning 35 years of dedicated service. Officiating today's ceremony is Major General Alan Dorman, the North Dakota Army National Guard Adjutant General. Please stand if you are able and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation given by Chaplain Johnson. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Justice for all.
We continue as we open our time together in prayer. Gracious God, we come before you today thinking about change, thinking about friendships, and thinking about new beginnings. As we do this, we remember with thankfulness Colonel Paul Harron and his service to God and country. So today, as his family and his military family, we gather to wish him farewell and celebrate his 35 years of service. With this in mind, we know that Colonel Harron has positively impacted countless military members through by the work that he's done, both stateside and overseas. Today, we thank you again for his faithful service to our state and to our nation. And Lord, we pray for him today as well, knowing that it's a day of mixed emotions. On this day, give him a sense of great achievement and pride because of his service, and give him as well your continual blessings in the years ahead. And, as always, we thank you for his family, his loved ones, especially Candace and the kids, without whom he wouldn't be here today. For their service, for their support, for their sacrifice, we give you thanks today. Go now with Paul and family as they enter their next chapter. May they always be blessed with a strong network of friends and family to enjoy the journey that lies ahead. And finally, give them continued good health and wisdom and grace for each day. Bless now our time together. In your holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Take your seats, please. Thank you, Chaplain. And I think it's without his mom who wouldn't be here. That just is piece of his life. I'm not trying to split hairs. Sorry about that. Maybe note that for the next one. All right. We'd like to extend a special welcome to Colonel Paul Harron's family as well. Attending today is wife Candace, his daughters Faith, Serena, and Anna, son Gabriel, mother Marilyn, sister Erin and her son, and Paul's nephew Toby, sister Angela and her husband Hank, and his brother Bob. Bob's being streamed, or is looking at it streamed, I guess. Whatever. I'd also like to recognize our other distinguished guests here today. Please hold your applause until the end. Brigadier General Jackie Huber, the North Dakota Deputy Adjutant General. Brigadier General Jonathan Erickson, North Dakota Army Land Component Commander. Colonel Deb Lean, North Dakota National Guard Chief of Staff. Chief Warrant Officer 4, Rob Dornman. Chief, are you here? All right. I was going to say CW5 next Friday, but don't let it impact the fact that he's not here and that you don't show up for his promotion next week. All right. And the Command Sergeant Major, Eric Binstock, our State Command Sergeant Major. We'd also like to welcome all retirees, veterans, friends, military members who are present here today. Thanks for taking the time to attend today's time-honored tradition. Today we are gathered to formally recognize Colonel Paul Harron on 35 years to his nation, state, and community. Colonel Paul Harron assumed duties as the United States Property and Fiscal Officer for the North Dakota National on October 1st, 2019. Colonel Harron enlisted in the North Dakota Army National Guard in 1989, serving as an intelligence analyst with the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment in Grand Forks. In 1992, Colonel Harron received his commission as a second lieutenant in the military intelligence branch in the North Dakota Army National Guard Officer Candidate School. Colonel Harron's assignments include a tour in the Colorado Army National Guard as a Tactical Intelligence Officer, S2, for the 169th Field Artillery Brigade from 93 to 95. In 95, he joined 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, serving as a platoon leader, battery battalion communications officer, and battalion logistics officer. Other key assignments include command of the North Dakota Army National Guard Recruit Sustainment Program, the 164th Engineer Battalion, and the 1st Battalion, 188th Air Defense Artillery Regiment. He also served as the Operation Officer, the S3 for 68 Troop Command, Military Personnel Officer, the G1, Director of Community Outreach, the 5-9, and for the North Dakota National Guard. His most recent military assignment was the Chief of Staff for the North Dakota Army National Guard. Colonel Harron twice served overseas as an intelligence officer. He is an intelligent officer. Sorry about that. Yes, sir, anytime. In Iraq from 2003 to 2005 with the 141st Engineer Battalion, and from 2009 to 2010 with Task Force Falcon, Kosovo Force. Colonel Harron's military education includes U.S. Army War College, U.S. Army Staff College, Military Intelligence Officer Basic Course, Air Defense Artillery Engineer Captain's Career Course, and the Tactical Information Operations and Intermediate Level Education from the Command and General Staff College. He holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice Studies from the University of North Dakota and a Master's degree in Strategic Studies from the United States Army War College. Colonel Harron's military awards, hang on, after 35 years, this is fairly lengthy. His military awards and decorations include the Bronze Star Medal, Legion of Merit, Meritorious Service Medal 3 awards, Army Commendation Medal 4 awards, Army Achievement Medal, Overseas Service Ribbon, NATO Non-Article 5 Medal, Kosovo Campaign Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal, Global War and Terrorism Service Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Overseas Training Ribbon, the North Dakota Meritorious Service Medal with 3 awards, and the North Dakota Emergency Service Ribbon. At this time, Major General, will you come forward for your remarks, please, sir?
The last name's Dorman, by the way.
Yes, sir. Just gonna let it go.
Yeah. I'll try to be brief. Today is not about me. I don't want to steal any of the spotlight like some of our other speakers. I'm looking at you, Chaplain. Paul, first, where are you? There you are. First, don't feel bad about Gabe being taller than you. I'm quite tall, and I thought I would always hold the family record. I no longer hold the Dorman family record. My Gabe has surpassed me, so if I seem a little down today, that's why. Special day. That you worked with and served. With all that said, today actually is all about you. And it was reflected right back on Paul. Because you don't get here on your own. Again, we won't get into the biological reasons like Colonel Murphy was alluding to. But I know you had a lot of support. And we always say family serve. All right, can't all cry. I'm German. I normally don't cry, so, all right. You got it together? Okay. And we've already talked, but Paul has an incredibly impressive record of service. Paul has always prepared himself for whatever was next. Paul is a plug-and-play officer. And I'll share a little secret with you. Not every officer at every rank can do every job. Paul Harron is one of those officers that at every rank could do any job that we put in front of him. And his record shows that. At the battalion level, I mean, since we have a platoon leader, all those things that we all start out doing. You worked in comms, logistics, intel, you're an XO. Battalion level, 2 commands. Not very many people have 2 commands, 1 engineer, 1 air defense artillery. Worked in recruiting, brigade staff at the 3 level, and at the state level is G1, Director of Personnel. I'm sure you have all these down by now, but Director of Personnel, and at J5, Strategic Plans and Policy, Community Outreach, and as Chief of Staff. And when Paul applied to be the USPFO, frankly, there was nothing in his record that would say, hey, this guy is ready to be a full. But Paul's record of service, Paul's potential, again, plug and play. You could give Paul Harron any job, he's going to go figure it out. He's going to do it. I worked with a couple, actually. Paul's passion has always been intelligence. And twice, well, 3 times, I didn't know this Colorado thing. So, yeah. What other secrets have you kept from me, Paul? But he kept coming in and out of the intelligence field, and that was your basic branch. But again, like any good officer, to have opportunities in North Dakota National Guard, he can't be a one-trick pony. And Paul Harron definitely is not. But I do believe that intel was your passion. You did at the battalion level, in a deployed environment in Iraq. You did it again at the Brigade Plus level with me in Kosovo and Task Force Falcon. And that's where I really got an appreciation for Paul Harron. I'd worked with him before, never that closely. But I kind of got to pick who I wanted to bring with me on that deployment, and Paul was the guy I wanted to be the G2. And Paul is good at whatever we ask him to do. Paul is great as an intel officer. And one example I always like to share, and Paul will remember this one well, but we had a 3-letter agency. I think they came to Paul first. And they said, hey, there's a bad guy in that house near the Serbian border. We got to go grab him. And Paul looked at intel and talked with probably some of your buddies at United States Army Europe and others and said, this guy from a 3-letter agency is all wet. There's nothing there. But they kept pushing. I stuck with Paul's recommendation. Paul said, do not do the cordon and search. There is nothing there. But this 3-letter agency commander, who was a German, said, hey, that American general in multinational task force East is not doing his job. And so I got called into the 3-star's office with a redacted intelligence report, which basically was all black, and there were like 3 words left. I think the, may, and I can't remember the other one. But go do it. So we went. I remember the 3-letter agency showed up, probably right by your front desk there. We all watched it on video. We perfectly executed a cordon and search, and guess what? It was the only house in Kosovo without an AK-47, and the only house in Kosovo that didn't have any occupants at that particular time. But Paul was right, and from that point on, I trusted him up to that point. But after that experience, again, a great officer, but a really good intel officer. And I think, I don't think it's a secret. We look forward to having you back at Frayne Barracks in the next couple of weeks. Oh, is it? Yeah, I was going to personally lobby if that did come through. I'm like, yeah, Paul Harron can't pass a background check. 1 inch shorter than Gabriel Dorman. But anyway, congratulations on that. And I'm so happy that Paul, he's still going to be on the team. The SLIC is run by a corporation of sorts, a board, but I'm part of that board. And I've always said Paul Harron is one of those guys that if I have a team, I want Paul Harron to be on my team. So I'm so glad to still be on our team. Before I close, just got to thank the family again. Candace, I'm sure Paul will say much more eloquent things than I can, but the support that you provided, Paul, over the years, we always say the family served right alongside, but you definitely have put in your service. There was at least 2 years there where Paul wasn't much help at home. I guess he's probably pretty helpful when he's around, but plus all the TDYs, all the schools, everything else. Is there an inside joke I need to know about? Okay. Get with me afterwards. But for Faith, Serena gave Anna, is it Anna or Anna? Okay. Paul's been calling you Anna for years. So It's not my fault. Talk to your dad about that one. But again, you serve right alongside him. I can see her today. I knew this already. I can see how proud you are of what Colonel Harron, your dad, has achieved over the years. So thank you for your service. As I said, Paul, I look forward to continuing to work with you in a different role. All the best to you, Candace, and all the kids in your future endeavors. And congratulations on a well-earned retirement.
Thank you, General Dorman. Colonel Paul Harron, report to Major General Al Dorman for presentation of the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, stand if you're able.
Before we start, initially in your honor, I used National Guard Bureau letterhead. So if anybody from the Bureau is watching, I understand how this works. But I was also told that you wanted to retire as a North Dakota National Guardsman, not a Title 10 member of the National Guard Bureau. So with your permission, I'm going to rip that patch off your left shoulder and put the right one. Is Helen here?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able as General Dorman presents Colonel Paul Harron with the North Dakota Fiscal Officer. He is responsible for operational house equipment credit upon himself, Joint Force Headquarters, the North Dakota Army National Guard, and the state of North Dakota. Signed, the Commander-in-Chief of the North Dakota National Guard and Governor of North Dakota, Doug Burgum, and Major General Alan S. Dorman, the Adjutant General. Please be seated. All right. Candace Harron, on the event of your husband's retirement, the Joint Force Headquarters and the North Dakota Army National Guard would like to present you with the Department of the Army Certificate of Appreciation. It reads, "To all who shall see these present greetings. This to certify that Mrs. Candace Harron, on the occasion of the retirement of your spouse from the United States Army, has earned grateful appreciation for your own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible your spouse's lasting contribution to the nation." Signed, General James C. McConnell, United States Army Chief of Staff. Thank you, General Dorman. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to present to you Colonel Paul Harron.
Thanks, Colonel. So I just want to start with a little gratitude. I really appreciate your kind words, sir. It's been an honor working for you. We kind of grew up together to some extent, and you've been a great mentor to me, as have several others in this group, so I really appreciate that. Murph, I couldn't ask for a better MC and a better friend, so thank you for MCing for us today. Chaplain Johnson, you and I grew up together as well, back in the 88 days, and Colonel Murphy as well, and I just really appreciate you coming up to do the invocation today. Mentor and a counselor, so thank you very much for all your help. Ms. Har, wherever she may be, she's hiding somewhere. I appreciate your staff, appreciate your help in getting this all set up. I know this doesn't just happen overnight. People invest and get it done. E6 as well, staff over there, and her team for streaming all and everything, so those who were outside of town could actually dial in and listen to the retirement. Friends, there's a ton of people here. Harvey and Vicky from the lake, my son's godparents drove from South Dakota. friends from church, Scott and Jenny, our pastor from Bethel, Pastor Walla and his family, other retirees, friends. I know I'm going to miss someone, so I apologize if I do. It's just one of those days. But I really do appreciate all the retirees and everyone that's come today. So another group of people I need to thank is the PFO team. I see a huge turnout from the PFO team, and I really appreciate y'all coming out. It has truly been an honor to serve with such a professional group in my last tour. I think I can say that I have left you in great hands. Colonel Helton will take this team and future and do even better things. But I could not have done it without you. You have been amazing to work with, and just thank you for everything you do. Everyone else, and many people and many faces, I thought about naming names, but I think we all know how that ends up. So just thank you very much. General Dorman said it as well. General Dorman had very kind words about how well I had done, but I could not have done that without the team members that I was blessed to be surrounded with and work with over 35 years. It truly was amazing. So General Dorman, I asked him to do the little patch ceremony. You know, I kind of was thinking about it, and you know, I have spent, other than the year or two in the Colorado Guard, pretty much my entire life in the North Dakota National Guard until I became the PFO. And I'm sure we've all seen it in the National Football League, right? Someone plays for one team for their whole career, and like last year or two, and they're kind of on the way out, they go somewhere else. Not saying I was on the way out when I became the PFO. I'm just saying that they always try to sign that last contract with the team that they spent their best years with. And that's how I feel. I spent my best years in the North Dakota National Guard. And the patch means a lot. Everywhere you go, and anyone in here who's deployed or been to a MOB station can attest to it, right? This patch is recognized as some of the best soldiers in the United States Army, and I could not be more proud to wear it and to have served with you. So, thank you, sir, for doing that for me. I think if I can leave you with a parting word, we're in a crazy world right now, okay? And okay, we get frustrated with each other sometimes, but at the end of the day, I would go to war with any one of you in this room, okay? And we need to take care of each other, okay? Because that's what it is all about. And that's what I appreciated about every team I served on. We understood, as full-timers and as traditional soldiers and leaders, that it was the soldiers in the trenches that we needed to take care of so that they were prepared, their family, when and if the call came for them to potentially lay their life down for our country. So, thank you very much. And now comes the hard part, right? Oh yes, the casket, yeah. Candace joked that somebody saw a casket on the drill floor. What's that about? And I told her I was going to say, well, it wasn't for me, right? I'm retiring and I'm not going out into the casket on the drill floor. And that reminds me of one more thing. So, you know, there's sometimes strange things happen, and they kind of happen for a reason. So I'm driving over this morning, and I listen to country music, and the Montgomery Gentry song came on, Something to Be Proud of. And I actually listened to the words. You know, sometimes you listen to songs for your whole life, and you don't really listen to the words. But I listened to the words. And I would ask you, whether you're a country fan or not, to go and just listen to those words. Okay? It's about family. It's about country. It's about honor, duty, all those things that we take great pride in wearing this uniform. So, I would also like to thank family members who came. My little sister Erin, my nephew Toby, from Minnesota, my sister from Leonard, and now, like I said, the really hard part. So, we'll start out with, how about my mom? So I'm sure we all have great stories about our moms, right? But I can tell you that I'm the man I am today because of many people. But it all started here, right? Like Murph said. I wasn't talking about any biology. But my mom instilled in me the values and the morals that made me a good officer, a good husband, a good father. And for that, Mom, thank you. All right, moving on. So the good Lord blessed me with 3 beautiful daughters, Faith, Selena. And my youngest, of course, Anna. Yes, give me a box of Twinkies. Box of Twinkies. Thank you. And of course, last but not least, my rock, my loving wife, Candace. I could not have done this without you. You have been there through the deployments, through the TDYs, through the everything, through my emotional challenges, through trying times, through good times. And, I just really love you and appreciate everything you've done. So, I think that there's one last thing. So, as we get to the end of our career, we always wonder, ooh, what am I going to do with all my stuff, right? And so, Colonel Romans, I don't know if you're on, retired, but he had something done with his uniforms for his sons. And I thought that was just a super cool idea. Well, my mom is an amazing quilter, so we worked. So my mom made quilts for all 4 of the kids, and these are all the uniforms I've ever worn, and all the patches I've ever worn from way back in the ancient 88 days of the 6th Infantry Division. If anybody is that old, probably not, but all the way up into the present, being the PFO. So, Mom, thank you very much. I think it has a little more special meaning for the kids since you did it, so I thank you very much. All right, well, let me review the list, make sure I didn't miss anything else. No, that's it. So thank you everyone for coming out today to celebrate this day with me. I wish everybody the best in the future. And if you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. North Dakota National Guard forever. Who will?
Take seats, please. The service members of the North Dakota National Guard are proud to have served with Colonel Paul Harron, and we wish him and his family every success in their future endeavors. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. Please congratulate Colonel Harron. Paul now. There are goodies in the hallway, so please help yourself, and thanks everybody.